Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm so glad you're here this morning. We appreciate you being our viewers, and we got a great show lineup, some special guests here. But first, let's take a look at our weather brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard and a hard-working crew, taking care of everyday comfort needs. And we need to get comfortable because high today is going to be 93 and low 76. Now, the Gulf water temperature at the end of the pier did go up 1 degree. It's 86 degrees at the end of the pier. Take a look at our river readings brought to us by Mountain Dew. Get out and do. See, Apalachicola Bluntstown is reading a 3.1. It's low, and look at the Choctawhatchee Caravelle, folks. It is right now the official reading is 2.1, but I mean it's about as low as it can get, and it's going to be a low river this weekend. We talked about it all week. Not much rain coming, so it's really going to be some potholes in the river. So be careful over there if you're moving along in a boat. Don't go too fast. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn, right here on 23rd Street. Looking at a really good strong tide today. Now this weekend it'll be a little bit of tide. It won't be that strong, but today's a great tide. High this morning at 8:23. Low this afternoon at 5:17. Good strong tide. Wind will be coming out of northwest at about 9. So we do have a little bit of a breeze, but nothing to write home about. All right, let's take a quick break and we'll be back with our special guest. Okay, welcome back. The Crime Stopper crew is here. I know all of y'all remember Rusty Russell comes on once a year. Glad to have you.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Thank you for having us back.
All right, we're glad to have you. And brought a new guest, Joe Preston. Tell us, Joe, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks, Coach. I appreciate that. I'm over at the Powder Room Shooting Range and Training Center there in Panama City Beach. Been there for a couple of years now since we opened the store, and we're really happy to be here today and also partnering with Rusty and Crime Stoppers.
Well, that's great. You do have a little bit of a law enforcement background. Tell us about it.
I do. So I have an association with Crime Stoppers that goes back to those law enforcement days. I retired from the Walton County Sheriff's Office back in August of 19, and that's when I came on board with the St. Joe Company in the design and build of the Powder Room and have been managing it since then. Last year, we kind of got hooked up once again with Crime Stoppers through Rusty, and that's been a great association with us. We're happy to continue to support law enforcement in a different capacity.
That's awesome. Yeah, because trying to stop all this, and this is a fundraiser we have. I just get tickled every year because we run out of tickets.
Yeah.
So tell us about what we're doing again this year. Okay.
Once again, 30 guns in 30 days. Starting November 1, we're going to be raffling off a firearm every day. We can do that thanks to the help of Joe and the people at the Powder Room. Tickets are $40 for one ticket, but this year we're going to do 3 for $100.
Oh.
And as I said, we're about halfway through sales already. The Florida midday pick 3 number will determine who the winner is. We're selling 1,000 tickets, 000 to 999. The unique thing about our fundraiser is you can win more than once. As a matter of fact, 2 of your listeners won twice last year.
He called me and told me that. I was just tickled to see. We call this a gun a day giveaway.
Gun a day giveaway.
Okay, so here's a poster here. Gun a day giveaway runs that month and all, and just what you just said, only 1,000 tickets, and the rules and all. It's just you buy the tickets and just watch the drawing. Correct?
That's correct, and we actually watch even Thanksgiving Day. We'll go online and find out what the pick 3 number was, and if your number's 1, 2, 3, and that number comes up, you're going to get a phone call from one of us telling you that you want a firearm. And if 1, 2, 3 comes up again in the middle of the month, you're going to win another firearm.
And 2 of our viewers last year won 2.
That's correct.
That's really cool.
Correct.
And your capacity, you're helping as far as...
Yeah, so Rusty came to us last year when we started it, and of course we repeated the same thing this year. He gives us a list of days in the month of November and what he wants to do, and we kind of pre-approve that list. Everything from pistols to rifles to shotguns are included in that, and some good high-end quality firearms are part of this. So it's really a unique opportunity. And who says that lightning doesn't strike twice, with the 2 viewers last year. So, buying 3 tickets really increases the odds on that.
It really does.
Coach, I want to say something too. When, Crime Stoppers is a nonprofit. We need to raise, most people don't know that, but we need to raise money. So a couple of years ago, this is our 3rd year actually, I made a cold call at Powder Room. So I walked in the Powder Room, I did my homework. I knew I needed to ask for Joe Preston. I asked for Joe Preston. They said, he didn't know I was coming. And they said, he's not here, but that's him pulling up on his motorcycle. Well, I'm a biker. I thought, we're in. I had no idea that he was a law enforcement officer. So it's really, Joe, not just Joe, but many of their staff are former law enforcement, military people. It's a perfect fit. It really does. So we're really blessed to have them partner with us. We couldn't afford these guns if it weren't for them.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it really is. I know the folks that are out there supporting it too. It's just important to the whole staff that y'all are doing that.
That's right. That's right. And as Rusty says, a win-win. Not only does it help Crime Stoppers, which gives back to the community and supports law enforcement with their anonymous tips and different things like that, but it also gives you something tangible, something practical, a tool that you can use, as part of this. So it is definitely a win-win.
It's a great fundraiser. We've got a whole list of the guns and all for each day of the drawing. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll come back and show you that list of what, and you can be a winner. So we'll be right back. Okay, here with Rusty Russell and Joe Preston, our guest today. We're talking about doing something, always talking about doing something good for the fellow man and the fellow outdoorsman. Man, this is something right here. Win a gun and help Crime Stoppers all together now. We got some pictures of some of the guns. You sent some pictures, so let's talk about some of the weapons that you can win. What is this one?
Yeah, so Coach, there's an example of one of the weapons that are on the list that we'll show in just a minute. That's a Ruger American Ranch rifle, and it's chambered in .450 Bushmaster, which is a pretty popular round for the hunters. 22-inch barrel length. It's set up with a top Picatinny rail, which you can mount optics or scope or even a low-power variable optic on that.
All right. Okay.
Another example, so that's a Savage Renegade in woodland camo, I believe, vented rib, 12-gauge shotgun for any of you fowl hunters or any folks that want to do any of that kind of hunting. That's also part of the list of giveaways.
Sweet gun. All right.
And then there's an example of a Henry Golden Boy 22 long rifle. It's a commemorative model. We have those included in the list, as well as some other rifles and different Henrys. So kind of a plethora of different models that folks can choose from. There's something on the list that's sure to please anybody that wins.
That Henry is such a sought after weapon.
It sure is. It's all American made.
Yeah,
they're in Wisconsin now, and they do everything. It's a great, that gun in particular is a great one to kind of start a tradition. A hand-me-down that can go, that can pass from father to son to grandson to great-grandson. And just kind of a great tradition. It's good to get them familiar and how to use that and safely enjoy the shooting sports.
That's right. All right, now, so here's a list, and we want to go starting November 1st, Rusty, so here we're going. So you can see we sort of scroll through. We won't talk about all of them, but you got one every day, right?
One every day, and it's about $19,000 in firearms there. And we've got them in order of value, in terms of monetary value. So.
The Smith & Wessons, the Glocks, Ruger, look at them. Sons of Liberty, Henry Golden Boy, that's one we were showing. Look at those last three. That's a pretty good price on those. Okay.
Yeah, Crime Stoppers does it right, Coach. They didn't come in and say, give us your cheapest firearms. They said, give us some good quality stuff, and that's what we tried to do. You can see some of the manufacturers on there.
I'm telling you, that's some quality folks. There's no pellet guns on there or anything, right? That's interesting. So let's do your phone number, okay? So I know people go wait after the show ends or call. Last year you had people started calling after the show, didn't you?
Right away, right away.
So you can call them after the show, but don't call them during the show. So your number is
850-630-2946, and you can go to most all of your gun stores in Bay County in Panama City area and get tickets. They've all got tickets and they're helping us. Of course, you can go to the Powder Room and buy a ticket there, but you can go to Pro Gear, We Will Outdoors and Pawn, Black Sheep Armory, Bay Guns and Gear, Williams Gun and Pawn, Gun Depot, and of course C&G Downtown. They've got tickets too. But if you want to make it easy, pick up the telephone, call me. I can take your credit card over the phone, send you an electronic copy of your ticket, and I'll stick the real ticket in the mail.
Oh, that is cool. It always amazes me how many gun shops we have in the Florida Panhandle. You just listed just the local ones and all, but up in the Chipleys and the Marianas.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. And something
it.
like this that we can all agree to participate in is fantastic too.
Yeah.
So we got the support of the whole community doing that.
Yeah.
So that's always good.
And you'll sell out.
We'll sell out. We'll sell out. We had a little printing problem this year, and the tickets came in with some incorrect numbers, so we had to start all over. So we got about a 12, 14 day late start. So we've been selling for a little more than a week now. We've sold 500 tickets probably.
Without even advertising much, have you?
That's right.
That's cool. All right, so make sure you touch base with them. Just get into the sport of shooting. I know when the powder room came that we have the shooting range here at the county. I know they have one in St. Joe and all. The sport of shooting, we have a clay shooting team with North Bay Haven. That is a fun, enjoyable sport. I know you must enjoy it a lot.
Oh yeah, over the years with my background in law enforcement, I've been associated with firearms, and even prior to my association with law enforcement, I was into firearms. My dad raised me hunting and fishing, but I always enjoyed the shooting sports. It's kind of like a skill that you can acquire and hone and perfect, and an individual accomplishment. Whether you're doing it for sport or competition or recreation or hunting, whatever the reason for it, shooting sports are very enjoyable.
Yeah. I'm so glad to see our young people getting into it. It's really neat. In fact, they're competing nationally against other teams and all. It's really, really good. And we're trying to get the schools systems themselves cannot support it, but the parents, and it makes it a club, and therefore it's a win-win for everybody. Getting to outdoor stuff, getting back to you being a prime example of a Panhandle outdoorsman, have you had a good fishing year?
Finally. Finally. I started fishing late. We talked about that last year. Not scuba diving anymore. So yeah, we've starting to do well. I can tell you that. So. I've turned in from, I was a fisherman, now I'm starting to be a little bit of a catcherman.
And there's a difference. What's your favorite kind of fishing?
I just like being on the water. Quite honestly, I do. And I think that that's my way of dealing with the fact that sometimes I'm going to go and not come back with something, but I do enjoy just being on the water. Yep. I really do.
And you have your history, though. You started way back doing some diving back in the early days.
We did, yeah. I saw your show yesterday with the two, the students, the Outdoor Ed Students of the Month. And when I was watching that, I was thinking about, that's really what we tried to do at PCMI for years, is try to teach the kids how to recreate. It's really important. Really important part of their development.
Panama City Marine Institute. Now, you were one of the founders, and you started in early years.
School started here in 1974. I went to work for them in 1982.
Yeah.
1982. Yeah.
And there were some really strides made helping our young people. I know I was down there some and saw some of the things y'all did. It was awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
If it was in, on, or near the water, we tried to be involved in it.
Yeah. And it was with the troubled kids who had some challenges and all, and y'all were really able to help them out. So, and it's still going. We got to get making it a charter school now, and
that's correct.
And we need to get them on the TV and talk about it too.
I'm sure they'd love to do it.
We've got it. In the early years, you were able to dive on a tarpon.
That's right.
And you were talking about. You sent me. How did you find a tarpon back then in those days?
Then someone had to trust you enough to take you there and sit you down, and you would draw the beach. We didn't have GPS. We didn't have Lorenz C at the time. George Holland actually taught some of us how to use Loren A, but we didn't have that on our little boats. Mm-hmm. But I saw that because last time I was here, we brought something of historical significance to the show. Mm-hmm. And so someone made a Facebook post about the tarpon a month or so ago. Mm-hmm. Made me think of that. So I went into my old land range book and pulled that up. And I thought that might be interesting.
We're going to show you now. We're going to work through this. Okay, this is a hand drawn. The word that's tarpon. Okay, is it tarpon? Okay, now this is the actual beach top. Okay, here's a tarp in the lower left-hand corner where your head is. So tell us what you did here. This is cool.
Someone would have to put you on the wreck. Some old captain, somebody that could locate it. Okay. And then you'd sit on the boat and you would draw the beach as you saw it. And when I pulled that up, it was interesting to note that there weren't many hotels on the beach. And we'd line antennas up with buildings and water towers over the left end of the hotel and you can see on the western range there. But what I thought was interesting on the eastern range, you can't read that, but that's stage 2 in the paper mill. And the note under it says 3 to 4 stage widths from the paper mill.
Oh my goodness, so that's a paper mill. Okay,
Yeah.
I see exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and we and most of the old fishermen and divers in the community had a land range book, and that's a page out of mine.
What a great example of how far our technology has brought us in really a relatively short period of time.
That's right. Yeah.
In our lifetimes, but that's how the old timers did it. I hear so many stories of them going out watching the smoke, and whichever way they knew which way the wind was going as it came out of the paper mill, and knew which way to go. So many wonderful stories like that. Thank you.
Foggy days were tough.
Foggy days, yeah. Foggy days, we want to do something else.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, stay close to shore.
Yeah.
Take our final break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Sitting here with our Crime Stoppers crew, helping trying to promote the gun sale, the gun giveaway. But first, let's take a look at our fishing game times today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. Our times this morning 9:20 to 11:20, and this evening 9:42 to 11:42. And we're talking about Crime Stoppers, and there's so many cases. I'm one of these guys that watch some of these TV shows, all these crooks and criminals and bad guys, and I just don't like bad guys. So anything we can do as a community to get rid of the bad guys. I know y'all are, you're the same way too.
Oh, you're right.
So you got some couple of cases or case or two or crimes?
Yeah, I brought one that I thought was interesting, and it's a great example too of how simple it can be just to make it safer. And I have permission to use this information, by the way, and include the names. But Derek Bell was a gentleman in our area that was wanted for murder, among other things. And someone knew about this in the community and wanted to remain anonymous. They picked up the telephone and just simply gave Crime Stoppers a tag number.
Wow.
And so that information was turned over to law enforcement. U.S. Marshal Service got involved, and the guy was arrested off one simple little phone call like that.
And so Crime Stoppers able to give him a reward, or?
Yep, that's right. That's right. Yep.
That sounds so simple.
Yep, it is. It is. It was just a very simple thing, and you know, the money we raise is used to make sure that people in the community know how simple it can be, and have a phone number and have a way to get that information to us so we can get it to the appropriate law enforcement agency.
And again, it's all voluntary.
Yeah. We're all volunteers. That's
we
correct.
appreciate y'all doing it as a community of outdoorsmen. We appreciate y'all doing that. We really do. Really do. The powder,
and Coach, just to add that from a law enforcement perspective, the service that Crime Stoppers provides is invaluable. That ability to anonymously report a tip, you know, somebody always knows something.
Yeah.
Crime doesn't happen in a vacuum, and there's always witnesses, there's always something out there. And a lot of times folks don't want to come forward, don't want to get involved. It may be fear of reprisal or something like that, but through the anonymity guaranteed through Crime Stoppers, they can still communicate with law enforcement through Crime Stoppers and help put those bad guys away. You know, we look around the nation right now and we see crime on the rise, and it's going to take a concerted effort, not only of law enforcement, but also of citizens that want to keep their community safe and working through organizations like Crime Stoppers. That's why it's so invaluable in every community to do that.
Yeah, and Coach, we've been, Panhandle Crime Stoppers has been here in Bay County and Gulf County for 41 years. Not one tipster has ever been identified.
Oh, that's great.
That's awesome.
Not one in 41 years.
Awesome.
And you're right, with the rise of crime and everything, we all have to do more than our share. And when we see something, say something.
Yeah, that's right.
And this is good. I guess in law enforcement, you saw a lot of that where people had to sort of call. And
we really did. You know, and it's hard when you live in a community, when you know somebody, you know, to kind of point the finger at them. But again, with the anonymous, the veil and anonymity, as well as the financial rewards that are accompanied, you know, with those tips and stuff, with successful arrest of those individuals, that's a very good service to be able to supplement what law enforcement does. Multiplies the eyes and the ears that we have in order to keep the community safe.
Exactly, and we do have our challenges.
Yes.
And this is a great way to do it. So all this money goes to the Crime Stoppers themselves. I mean,
That's right. We've got a grant with the Attorney General's office in Florida, and it provides some funding, but not enough.
Yeah.
Not enough. So we have to raise the money to pay for the advertising and to get the word out. So.
And look at the bonus. You could win one of those guns or two of those guns.
You could. I have mixed emotions about that. You know, I'm excited that it is possible you can win two. It helps us sell tickets, but that means somebody else didn't win one.
But you know, those people in there, they need to go buy a lotto ticket if they're that lucky.
I will tell you, they're all buying tickets again this year. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. We got a short period of time left. Anything in closing?
Just real quick, we're happy to be a part of this. You know, even for folks who maybe don't have a history of owning firearms, but now looks like the time you want to do that, we'd encourage you to participate in that, because the Powder Room also offers a full menu of training options for you. Everything from the novice first-time shooter to concealed carry classes. If you're interested in personal defense and defending your loved ones, we can provide the training that will allow you to successfully get that license. We also offer advanced training, you know, our Defensive Pistol 1, Defensive Pistol 2, Defensive Pistol 3, introduction to AR-15 and shotgun, you know, home defense.
That's great.
So we have a whole slate of those things.
Great place to go and feel comfortable and learn a lot, and very important. We got to wrap it up, fellas. Thank you all for coming on.
Coach, thank you very much.
Coach. We appreciate you. Thanks for everything you do.
All right, thank you. Joe and Rusty with us. So thank you all for watching our show. Check this out now. Call them after the show. Do something good today for your fellow man and enjoy our beautiful Florida Panhandle and the outdoors. God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.